Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar on how to use the EIA's new state energy portal. My name is Pauline George, and I'm the project manager for this effort. Today, I'll be joined by my colleague, Stacy Angel, who led the data content effort, and Steve Luminati will facilitate Q&A. For those of you who are not familiar with EIA, we are the primary federal government authority on energy statistics and analysis. EIA supports public understanding of energy and its interaction with the economy and the environment. The cornerstone of EIA's mission is its impartiality and independence, which promote sound policy making in efficient markets. So I just want to give you a quick background of this project, the State Energy Portal. A few years ago, we took an effort to remake the state energy profiles, which is the current product on our website. And we ran a survey on that, and we took those survey responses and held several focus groups to determine what our state data users really wanted. Having that, we went ahead and built this application, which offers interactive, create your own views of over 150 customizable charts that have 1,700 state and regional level data series from more than 50 data sources, that including external data sources to EIA. You'll see here that we've developed some dynamic infographics that demonstrate overall energy context for the state, and the rankings provide one of many options to compare states and regions. We've also expanded the download and export options to make it easier to use the data in your own reports and presentations with the latest EIA data. And at the end, we'll take the questions. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Stacy.
Thank you, Pauline. For today's training, we will first do a basic navigation of the overall site. Then I'd like to dive into creating custom interactive data dashboards. We'll turn things back to Pauline to walk you through our U.S. mapping system. And then finally, we'll go through how to download data off this site and how to add the charts and widgets into even your own website. All right, so let's get started. On the U.S. landing page, you will see our first infographic to provide a nice overview of total energy production and consumption by state. This infographic also works as a navigation page to get to a state-specific site. Here I've selected Texas. On the Texas or any state page, you will see the same infographic, which provides different ways to look at total energy consumption. We were hearing from our users they want to look at it by energy source, or they would like to look at consumption by sector, and really understand what goes into their electricity production by the larger power plants in the state. So this infographic shows you data in different ways. Continuing to scroll down the state overview page, we have other navigation features where you can browse detailed data by state or by energy source, by activities like consumption and production, or by special topics like reliability and environment. Next, there are some quick facts about Texas, some basic energy indicators for the state. Each state will then show the top 3 rankings for that state. So which data series you see here will vary by where the state ranks the highest. Quick links to Today in Energy articles, and then other resources for the state, like a state energy office or utility regulatory commission. And even some regional entities like here, the ERCOT, or the wholesale electric power market that's applicable to the state. All right, so let's move in and see what more ranking information is available for this state. If we click on the Rankings tab, you can see from the 10 available ranking series, the data in a chart feature. You can view that data also by a table or by a heat map view. Within the chart option for rankings, we have a great way to compare your state to another state. So if you're looking at total energy consumption, the selected state is yellow. If you select another state, it will show below as a black circle. And these chart options in the rankings page are also available for download. Also, from the state page, you can access existing content from our State Energy Profiles product, our analysis descriptions about energy in the state. And the most significant new functionality for state data users exists in the Data tab of the new portal. Here you can access one of 20 pre-populated data dashboards by energy source and by energy activity or by special topic. You can also, from this page, create your own custom dashboard. Within each custom dashboard, you can add from over 150 charts, tables, and maps to create your own view. You can scroll through those features available via the list organized by energy source and activity, or type in a keyword such as gasoline, and you will see those that apply to your keyword. Here I'll add gasoline prices, and I'll create a line chart for that data. The info button here will give you a description of the data series, as well as the source for the data, related data products where that data is also published, and methodologies, notes, and other documentation for the data series. This information is also available in a full screen view. And if you would like to see your chart larger, you also have the option of customizing the layout of the data dashboard. Here we will resize our chart by unlocking the dashboard and adjusting the width, and then relocking the dashboard. You can also create a copy of any chart you have added by cloning the visualization. It will add your copy below the chart. And another way you can customize a way to compare your data to other series can be then in your clone chart, going into chart options and selecting different filters by time and geography, energy source sector, and unit. Here I will change the series from a weekly series to a monthly and save changes. Then by unlocking the dashboard again, I can resize that top chart back to be more narrow, move my new chart next to it, and relock the dashboard. I now have a side-by-side comparison of the weekly and monthly series. Within the chart, you can also compare your state series to those applicable regions or city series that may be available. There'll be a quick link for every region to add the regions applicable to your state. Here, PAD 3, Petroleum Area Defense District PAD 3, and Houston series have been added to the chart. You can also remove any series that's been added by unchecking the box. And then you can save your changes made in a chart by clicking Save Changes at the bottom or using the green arrow at the top. If you don't like the changes you've made to a chart, you can go into Chart Options and reset that chart with the red Reset button at the bottom. By resetting this clone visualization, I have now gone back to the weekly series. So now let's filter the retail gasoline prices by the grade of gasoline we're comparing. So under grades, I'll remove all grades and add in a regular and premium formulations and see the price difference between those two series and save changes. You can also add maps to any data dashboard. These are excerpts from our U.S. mapping system. And here I've added a crude oil and petroleum products layers map to the bottom of my dashboard with gasoline prices. All the edits you make within Custom Dashboard will be available the next time you visit the Custom Dashboard page, as long as you save your cookies. Once you clear the web cookies, these will default back to a blank Custom Dashboard. All right. So of the 20 pre-populated dashboards, you can also do comparisons. These charts work the same way. Select chart options, and you can compare Mississippi to Texas and see how propane stocks have looked over time between those two states. If you prefer a table view, that type of comparison view is also available. You can also view bar charts and change your frequency. So perhaps you want to look at annual data as you're looking at a longer time series history. You scroll on the x-axis, a slider bar over, and you can move to the beginning of the series is available in 2010. You can slide the whole way back to 2010, and you see that full history of annual data. You can also change the date range for all the charts you're going to see on your dashboard by clicking this box, Apply Date Range to All Charts, and saving your changes. So now all of the charts within this dashboard are starting in 2010. For a line chart where only one line is visible, there are chart indexing options available. A seasonal analysis option will allow you to look at a single line for each year of data over the past 5 years. By doing that with this coal stocks for electricity generation series, we can see that our current stock levels are much lower than they have been in the past. The change from, if you want to look at the change from 2014, which is when our stock levels have been started off the year close to our current levels, we can turn that seasonal analysis option off and use the chart indexing option, where you can index as a percent to start or as a value to start, and also use your x-axis sliders to change to start in 2014. And now the starting value is 0, and we're looking at a percent change since that start year, or we can look at the change as a value. Okay, I'll turn things over to Pauline to go through mapping.
Great, thanks. So I'm going to show you the natural gas dashboard here with the mapping system. So let's go to Texas Natural Gas, and we're going to go scroll to the bottom of the screen. You're going to see our U.S. energy mapping system. This is the one, if you're familiar with our website, you've seen this around. What's new here for this product is that we curated the layers for the particular dashboard that's visible. So for this particular map viewer, we have the natural gas layer selected. But if you would like to, see other things, you're welcome to do that. Here I'm going to remove all, add the state map, and go down to a natural gas power plant. So you can see the power plants, and go down to the interstate pipeline, so we can see that too. So if you come here and zoom in a little bit, back here, and click on one of these, you'll see the information. You'll also see the information. If you click on the little pipeline, you'll see the information about the pipeline as well. Underneath, we we're trying this out. We added the table at the bottom, and we're hoping to add this to the mapping system in the near future. There's some options here. You can, right now I've only selected 2 map layers, but if you want to toggle between the 2 map layers, you'll see the different items in that map layer. Other options are you can show and hide columns. Right now we are displaying all of the columns, but if you only wanted to see total megawatt or primary source, you can go ahead and do that as well. As part of our mapping system, we always want to give you the ability to get the shape files down. So we have the different shape files. If you have specific questions about mapping, we have a mapping team here. And here is our main layer information for the different layers that we have on the U.S. Energy Mapping System.
All right. So now we'll go through some options available to you to download the data you're interested in. So for every chart on the Data tab, there are options for download. I'll look here for a natural gas delivered to consumers chart. And download options. You can add a series to download. And this works like a shopping cart. You might be familiar on other types of websites. We have now added the series from this delivered to consumers chart to a downloaded select data API download feature. You can choose the Google add-in sheet or the Excel add-in sheet, or pull these series into a CSV file or JSON file. If we select the Excel add-in and hit download, our file will appear in the bottom left portion of the screen. When that opens in Excel and we enable the content of the macros, you will see API keys across the top of your spreadsheet. You should also see a new tab that says EIA and FRED data. This is an add-in tool available for download from the EIA site, or it may automatically pull up as part of this download feature. Within that add-in tool, and you hit Get Data, you are now pulling the most currently available data historical series from EIA's databases. Every time you go back into this Excel worksheet and you hit Get Data, you will get the most current series, including any recent revisions or historical revisions we've made to the data. Within the Excel add-in download, there's also a Series Notes tab. This will provide for you those sources, related data products, and methodology links that were also on the website itself. You can also download the data file as it looks today, the series as today in a static CSV or JSON file from the download feature on the chart. Each chart may also be downloaded as a PDF or image file. This is a great option if you're looking to quickly add graphs and charts to your own presentations or reports. They will come along with the source information along the bottom and the chart as you've last customized it on the dashboard. Okay, so in addition to the data you can download from each of the charts within the data download section, we also created a quick link to our State Energy Data System Estimates, or SED product, as additional state-level series are available there. That's one example of just the comprehensive amount of data that we have available through this portal. Not only are we pulling series from our surveys and the State Energy Data System, but we're also pulling some series that go back to 1960, very long history series that you can see how energy has changed greatly over time. Within our electricity data dashboard, we also have series that provide more timely information. Here we have two examples of hourly data about electricity load and nuclear capacity outages by day. And these are current through the current month. Okay. So those are our download features for using the data yourself for your own presentations, reports, and spreadsheets. Pauline's going to walk you through how you can download these charts for use in your own website.
Sure. So basically, if you wanted the latest EIA data and you wanted to automatically update, there's a couple ways you can do that. Here on any chart that you have on any of the dashboards or a custom dashboard, you can just hover over this and you can see this option that says Embed Chart. And what that'll do is give you an example of what the chart would look like on your website. And this is like a little snippet of code that you would just copy and paste into your web page. And you want to modify the width and the height to fit with your website. But this will automatically update based on the data that is available at EIA. So that's if you like a particular chart on the dashboards. We also have some other options under Dev Tools, where you have, this is what I just walked you through here about embedding a chart. And we also added some widgets. So what these widgets do is, this is the ranking widget, and this is basically the top 3 rankings for a particular state, as Stacy showed you on the overview page. Here you can click and select whatever state you would like, and you can scroll through the top 3 rankings. So that's one way to get the EIA data onto your website. Another way is if you like the infographics we had for on the state overview and the U.S. overview page, that's also available. Here again is the code box. This is what you would copy and paste. For this one, it was right here in this blue box here, the code box. And going back to the infographic widget, here again, you can select what state you would like to see, or if you would like the U.S. total one, that's all the way up at the top. And that was the main landing page. The other option is the state outline widget, and basically it's a state outline, and you would click here and it would go to the Texas overview page in this case. So those are the options in Dev Tools. I also wanted to mention to you that we are in a beta right now. We're in a period of we've released the product in public beta. So we welcome your comments. You can always give us your comments by clicking this show feedback link and entering your statements. You can see that we have received a few comments already. You can also reach us at states@eia.gov. That also comes to our email. And there's been a great product to work on, and we hope that it's a useful product to you, and we are really interested in your comments. So if you have any questions right now, Steve is standing by and waiting for any questions. We just don't want to unmute the phones because there might be feedback. We have over 150 participants. So if you want to send your comments or questions, please enter it in the chat window on your WebEx. Hi, okay, so you probably can see this chat window, but we did receive a question about, can I get the steps for creating the dashboard? So I'm assuming you mean the custom dashboard. Here are all the different dashboards listed here, and then this is where you would go to create your custom dashboard. So if you have other questions, let us know. I'll follow up with you.
I have one here.
Okay.
How often is the state information updated?
The data is all updated at a different frequency based on the product or survey it comes from. Our state energy data system is in the current process of finalizing our 2017 annual series. Our monthly electricity values, you can get 2019 monthly data already out of that product.
So it's monthly and annual. Anything else in there?
Our daily data from the NRC is updated as of the day before, and our hourly electricity system operating data is today's data.
Yeah.
A couple hours lag, today's data.
Right, put on here, okay. So it depends on the data series.
We have a question in if there are greenhouse gas or emissions-related data sets in the product. We do have EIA CO2 data series. Pick a state, go into the data tab, and under special topics, there's an environment. This is where you'll see the most of them in one place. They are scattered across dashboards by energy source as well, and you can add all of these charts within the Add Visualization features.
I have one here from Benjamin Goldstein. This is dangerous because I'm on the web team with Pauline. When is the final product going to be released, Pauline?
Well, so we're gonna take this time to get your feedback, see if there's any important functionality that's missing, and then kind of reassess in about 3 months to see where we stand. And we're hoping by the end of this year that we would go back. Right now we have the existing product, the state energy profile, still up there, and that people can link to this as additional information.
I have a request here. Stacy, could you go through again where to download the shape files from the mapping system?
Okay, so from any dashboard where you're in the map, there's a question mark button available on top of each of the map views. And that's where we clicked to get the quick link over to map layer information. All right, so within the portal, click on the question mark, click on layer information and map data, and that's how we got to this page. For those who may be familiar with using our mapping system, the same page can be navigated to through Maps, US Mapping System, and layer information and map data. I saw a question come in that somebody wanted to make a chart of the Shale Revolution. So for that, I'd start with the production, we're calling it the supply activity default dashboard. There you can see crude oil production and natural gas production over time. Maybe you want to pick just those states where you're more interested in shale production, and keep just the oil and gas charts in your graph. Maybe Ohio, Texas. So you'll be customizing this way. We're also looking at putting our drilling productivity report, which is a weekly estimate product, into this portal over time, which is also a great source to see the change in shale gas production. Okay.
So there was a question whether this would be available, this recording would be available later, and it will be. Right now, we're still under development, but you'll see up at the top we have a how-to section, and here you're going to see some animated vignettes of key features that Stacy and I walked through today that you can just get like a 10-second, 15-second, just a refresher of what we did, and also the recording link will be available there as well, so you can always get back to that. What does the download button download, underlying data or the chart? Both. So if we went back to natural gas, to any chart, go here. So if you clicked on the download, you'll see, actually if you just hover over it, you'll see the different options. So if you wanted it as a PDF, an image, CSV, or JSON, but if you wanted to leverage the EIS Excel add-in, you would kind of click on to add to downloads, and you'll see here that that series was added to this shopping cart feature that Stacy had mentioned. If I went over here, I could do the same thing here, add to download. And then when I clicked on that link, you'll see the 2 series that, I just added here. And if I wanted to add all the series from the dashboard, I can do that here, or I mistakenly didn't want one of these, I can, remove this as well. So it's really up to you if you want the image, if you want the data. We tried to, meet different user personas' needs, whether you're a power user or somebody who needed this for a presentation.
And we also have those embed features for the users who wanted to put that chart on their own website and not go in and update it every week or every month. You know, that'll just always be showing the most recent series on their own website. And there's no cost for downloading this data.
Can we manipulate the data and then hit get data and still update the data even if you move columns around? Yes. This is fully customizable to your needs. You can make your own custom charts, save it, and then when you go to embed it, like if you wanted to go through chart options and, you know, this one isn't that great to change, but let's see here. If you wanted to come in here and see it as a bar maybe, and you clicked on Save Changes, you didn't have to go with what we curated. You can go ahead and embed this the way that you wanted to see it. And also for whatever length of history that we have available that you're interested in, you can customize it that way as well. The get data, I'm not sure if you're specifically talking about the Excel add-in. Every time you click on the get data button, once the Excel add-in is on in your Excel, it will just update with the latest data that we have. Any revisions, whatever we have last published, you'll get. You don't have to re-query, you just have to click that get data button. Will there be a link to sign in to the beta site and have a repeat of this webinar to learn from? So as I mentioned before, we'll have this recording and little snippets of that you can kind of go through the different features and functionality. This is available right now on our website in the beta section, eia.gov/beta/states. You can go there at any time. Great, somebody tried to embed it and it worked great, thank you. How do I provide a link from our website to the data or provide credit to the source of the data? That would be great if you could send that to states@eia.gov, and we'll make update that.
And you can also use the little eye on each chart to see the source for each of the series you're using.
Sure, this is a wealth of information for you to understand what data is actually being presented here. Is there a way to overlay 2 data points in one visualization, e.g. emissions by sector and energy consumption by source? Okay,
so with the way the charts are being produced, you will have to create 2 side-by-side. You can do that within any dashboard or create a custom dashboard. So if you want to look at consumption and emissions, you know, put those 2 charts together on a custom dashboard, get the x-axes to match up and your states to match up and your filters, and you can do that side by side. But we are limited right now. We are not able to put those on the same chart.
For embedding data into a website, can it be done by region, Mid-Atlantic, Northeast?
Okay, so when you are going to embed a chart, you can pick the regional data instead of the state data, and then select embed. So within chart options, not all series has a regional value. I've just now selected one that did not have a regional value. But a lot of our petroleums will have a pad value. So like with the, oh my, okay, this is, what I'm trying to show here is where regional data is available. When you select that regional data, you will get the regional data embedded.
Yeah, only when it's available.
So this particular series is available by census division. And when you add the regional data, you may want to remove the state you entered the chart through, and that will take away some of the clutter on your chart. And then when you go into embed chart, you now see a chart to embed that has a regional series. So the code you see in embed chart is the regional series code.
So a question about mobile-friendly options. This website is responsive, so if you were to see this on your tablet or your phone, you'll see that it will be modified to adjust to the size of your screen, and all the content will also be still available to you.
There's an inquiry that came in about seeing an aggregation of renewable energy in the full load. I'm not clear if the interest is solely on electricity or not, but I would like to show folks on our electricity page, there is a series with, and the renewables page. It defaults to show some series of generation by different renewable resources, as well as that from like small-scale distributed solar generation. So our net generation values by renewable resources in the first chart are for the 1 megawatt or larger plants, and then our estimates for small-scale solar are also available. And when you do changes to your dashboards, you will see those changes when you come back to the site, as long as you do not clear your cookies and that your cookies are enabled.
So there's a question about which browser works best. We've tested cross-browser, but you know, Chrome works the best and is the fastest. So we would recommend that you use Chrome.
Okay.
Okay, I think we went through the entire chat window. We're at the bottom of the window. Please enter any other questions that you might have. And we don't want you to feel that you have to enter all your questions and comments right now. As we showed you, you can always go through the feedback link and always send us an email through states@eia.gov. So there's a question about, will my audience lose data or maps when they clear their cookies? So I'm assuming if that's part of your embed, if you're embedding it, that's not the case. If you embed it, it's directly linked and doesn't really have to do with your browser. It uses if you look at the code snippet, it uses the parameters that are in the code snippet and not your cookies. Okay. To reach the, okay, let's see about that. Since this is in beta version currently, do you anticipate any major changes that could change length? Example, could be building tables now. It could change lengths, but it will not break your systems. We'll create aliases so that it'll automatically remap to the new link. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. So should I wait to 100%? Nope, you can go ahead and start using it now and let us know if you use it. We're interested in knowing who's using it and what you're using it for as well.
And our time from beta to official release is anywhere between 3 months and like 2 years, if history shows. And that depends on the number of features that we are requested and what have you.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I think we want to hopefully
keep it shorter.
Keep it shorter, and we have all of the content from the existing product state energy profiles into this, but we want to just obviously make our users comfortable with the transition as well.
We do have one more question that's come in.
Yes. Says, when you embed a chart on your website, does it auto-update the last updated date in the chart? It will update to whatever is the last data that's available at EIA, so yes. Okay, I'm not seeing any additional questions. So we really appreciate the time that you have taken to attend this training session, and look for additional information. We'll add the animated GIFs and the recordings to this hopefully within the week. Okay. Well, thanks again, everybody, and please send us your feedback. Thank you.